Well. That ain't moonshine. That's 100% high grade H2O in a mason jar. It's so good when it hits your lips. That's good water. Oh, hey. What's going down? How you doing? How your mama doing? How you Tuesday doing? The day before hump day. I hope it went well. Straight vodka. No intense. We don't do vodka this early. It's high grade H2O. Well, intense is off to a good start. THC in already. Those lips doing. All right. They're doing well. I trust that everyone's ready to have a good night. We got Nuggets going tonight in Dallas in Big D pause for game number 2. And since we're in Dallas, let's keep it all Dallas, considering all the news that just broke. Well, didn't just break, but lots of engagement farming going on in the world. I'm off the ledge. It's a Tuesday. Intense THC's here, smoked up. I feel good about it. Why don't we just go ahead and go?
And now it's time to play everybody's favorite game. Good
news. Jesus Christ, we can't run.
No, seriously, you're too kind to give me such a raucous applause like that I didn't provide for myself via my soundboard for you to clap for me like that in the safety of your own home. Look at you. You know what you deserve?
Way to go. Neato, gang. Yes. Super duper. That's nice. That is good news. I'll be honest, congrats. That is good news.
You deserve some good news. Timothy Rimothy's in the building. What's up, Tim? Intense THC's in the building. What's up, Tim? Slim Jim. How's your Tuesday? How'd it go? Did you do it? Did you get it done? Whatever it is, the whole thing that you were supposed to do. Remember, we had talked about that? The whole thing you're supposed to do for Tuesday. I did. I started reading or looking through this. 100 of the greatest comics of all time. Feeling real superhero-ish. We love our heroes. Who's your favorite superhero? Or is that, oh, you're too cool for that, right? I forgot. My bad. You're like superheroes, whatever. What are you, 11? No. You're the one that's 11. I'm a man. I love superheroes. I love comic books. Isn't that what our sports stars end up being? Is there a greater enigmatic figure than Ben Grimm? The Thing. What a fucked up condition. But he Dr. Ben Grimm, and you turn that into a superhero? Like, what? Captain Underpants is pretty solid. I'm gonna put that up there just so you can look at your shame. Look at you, Timothy Rimothy. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. You did that, Timothy Rimothy. You should be ashamed of yourself. Captain Underpants was pretty solid. He was pretty solid. Anyway, I was thinking about all this Deion Sanders guff. They got me all worked up last night. Previously on Good News Travel Fast, if I were to like go back in time, I was like, fuck up. I was like, why would Adam Schefter? I'm sorry. No. Why would Adam Schefter do that? Why would he ruin my Monday evening? I did nothing to this man. For him to stick his big head, I'm sorry, big Schefter into my evening with that bullshit. And then I'm like, I fucking gave my heart to you. CU fans like, God damn it, Deion, we trusted you. Let that poop come out of your mouth. Why would you go, Jerry Jones? Hey, we gave our heart to you. Never did it occur to me that I was being engagement farmed. I'm that invested in what Coach Prime has done in Boulder. I'm that invested. He is heroic to me in many ways because he took a shot on a town that, I mean, let me tell you something. No offense to Jackson State, but have you been to Jackson, Mississippi? No offense to the SWAC. I'm just saying. He's taking shots on these towns that like Boulder and Jackson, Mississippi couldn't be more culturally divergent areas, right? And for him to bring what he's brought to Boulder, look at the mushroom effect that it's had. Look at the effect that it's had on that community. I can't wait to get back. Quite honestly, I can't wait to be on the ground and see what I left right after he signed, shortly after he signed up to be the head coach for the University of Colorado at Boulder. And I never got a chance to go up to Boulder and experience it. And I think about my time in Colorado. I think about my time in Boulder and culturally what I know that town to be. Listen, I played in a band for a little over a decade. We're still all chilled. Food chain all day on mine. And we played at the Fox Theater many a night. And I love Boulder, Colorado. I was in high school when CU, rest in peace, by the way, Coach Mack. Go ahead and turn that off. Obviously, that was a hard one for his players, for his former players. I'm pretty sure it was natural causes, and Coach Mack was advancing years. He lived a long, fruitful life, poured into so many young people. So big shout out to Coach Mack. I experienced his Boulder as a teenager when Boulder was his town. And it's always been it was just interesting for me from a quirky orange standpoint to see that much blackness in Boulder. Yes, it was involved with sports. That's how it's always been, but it's all encompassing. And I can't wait to get back to experience that. And then there's also the appreciation for the squad. You know what I'm saying? In the Rocky Mountain Showdown, to be quite honest with you, I always support CSU because more of the homies went there. But in truth, it's always been, the CU's was the school. It's just everybody, you know what I mean? And after they won that national championship, and then you get Rashawn Salam wins a Heisman, the Cordell Stewart years, all those things, Gary Barnett years even, there were just all those things. It was always a really interesting place, for me. So the Coach Prime happening just had bigger ramifications. And then you just see how, Black America has embraced the program. All these things came with it. And so yesterday, when Adam Schefter breaks in, spoke to Prime, and then Prime's like, yeah, I talked to Jerry Jones. Let me pull the tweet up so I can just not be paraphrasing. Because when you read between the lines and then everything that he said since, it's like, okay, I get this more now. This is television doing what TV has to do. TV must do this. If TV doesn't do these things, we probably don't watch that much TV. It's got to be compelling. It's got to be exciting. It's got to be buzz, 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 buzz all the time. Buzz, 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 buzz all the time. Go Prime on Twitter and boom. Okay. Like this if you're not. Share this if you're not. Go ahead and share that. Buzz, 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 buzz. Everybody's buzzing. Everybody's got to have a buzz. It's got to have a buzz about something. Nuggets will tip off with the Dallas Mavericks in 20 minutes or so. That game will be on TNT, and then we'll do a 5 to go at the end of the or somewhere in the fourth quarter. So I'll be with you all evening virtually. Hold on. Let me get Schefter's tweet. So just to recap the point was that yesterday it just caught me. It caught me at a bad time. I don't know if it was sort of the hangover from the Broncos loss and like I didn't want to hear that shit. And I know CU fan didn't want to hear that shit. But then you go through it more. Hold on, let me just Adam Schefter, Coach Prime. You go through it and you realize just in reading it, just in the wording. And I saw part of this yesterday. I did notice this yesterday when it first broke. Nonetheless, because you got to wonder, it's like, why are you talking? If you're not, for me, it's all implication based. Like tweeter, Orrin. I literally wrote tweeter. It's all like if you're not serious about this, why the fuck are you even talking to that dude? And I'm serious about that part. It's like, you know what I mean? Are you trying to hurt me? Do you want Buffs fan all stressed out whether or not should I stay or should I go? I want to coach my son. I don't know what to do. I'm so conflicted. Well, all things considered, one, that's a man. He has every right to do with his career as he chooses, obviously. There's nothing saying that Coach Prime can't change his mind, can't see where, the grass is just greener. I assume that all coaches want to be, effective at the highest level. But I also feel now like, okay, Coach Prime has a whole TV show. He has a whole reality show. So now think about that whole thing through the context of shooting a reality show. Of course you're going to take Jerry Jones's call. Of course you're going to take that call because that's going to make it onto an episode. Coach, this is Jerry Jones. I don't know if that's Jerry Jones, how he sounds, but it's like, hey, Coach, this is Jerry Jones. He's like, oh, man, Jerry. Oh, okay. It's a little off, but you see where I'm going with it. He's like, oh, Jerry, man, what's going on? Damn, I have a better Sanders. God darn, there it is. Okay. Man, I'm pleased as punch out. Love you to life. And it's like that whole thing getting recorded and on tape will go on an episode of Prime. And that is compelling television. But for us in real time, you're a part of the script and so is your reaction. Because think about it. It's like just a scroll through a Twitter timeline, or X as it is now. A scroll through an X timeline. You'll see I'm sorry. No. You'll see the reaction from CU fan. You'll get the clip of ESPN insert talking head here, going absolutely bananas. This is the greatest hire that Jerry Jones could ever make, right? You get all of the things. We'll go into that show. We'll go into that episode. And it's like, okay, I get it now. I get it. I get it, and I no longer fault. I no longer fault Coach Prime, because when you read it, to hear from Jerry Jones is truly delightful, and it's intriguing. You know, you gotta use color. You gotta bait the hook. You don't sell the steak, you sell the sizzle. This is how I know. I don't know if Deion Sanders is a great X's and O coach. I know he's a great player, one of the greatest athletes ever. I know he knows defense, but it takes coaching is maybe a coordinator is maybe a better way to look at that. I don't know if he's going to be the guy to sit down and draw it up in the sand. He's going to be like, get the darn. He's that guy. Get the darn. Great motivator. But as a salesman, shit. Ice water to an Eskimo. Deion Sanders told ESPN on Monday night, I love Jerry. And I believe in Jerry. After you hang up and process it and think about it, it's intriguing. But I love Boulder and everything there is about our team. It's falling apart on me. The coaches, our student body, and the community. Okay, it fell apart on me. But I saw that last night through the glass is half empty lens. Like, oh, so this is the setup before the fall. I was like, no, it was never that. There's nothing in that tweet. It's a nothing burger. It is literally a nothing burger.
Burger.
It's not. It says, I took a phone call. I love to hear from the guy. It's intriguing. Well, what the fuck does intriguing mean? Right? I'm intrigued. You ever been like, ask one of your homies and been like, hey, you want to go out tonight? And he's like, that's intriguing. You right? You ever asked, like, I don't know if you're with wife or girlfriend, you're hitched up, you have a significant other. When you asked her on her first date and you're like, you want to go out on a date? How would you have felt if she'd have been like, that's intriguing? My intrigue is piqued. Tell me more. That man is selling the sizzle of what has to be. I haven't watched it yet, but I'll watch it. What has to be a fabulous show. Okay, let me read something real quick. Timothy Rimothy said Scott and DMAC made a pretty good point that said that Deion may just be going through a midlife crisis. Standing up at the team meeting and not seeing his sons hit deep. You know what? That's a great point. This is truly a separation and an inflection point for the Sanders family. Now, you would think that would all come on the son's side. And I think Shiloh's going to have some soul searching to do. I'm not sure if that dude is an NFL safety. I'm just not. I hope better. I like Shiloh. I like him. I think his age, the fact that he's still around, and when you watch him play, I think is indicative of a guy who's really going to need some nepotism. You didn't play the game assessment. Shador, yes, I question the decision-making, but it's probably a little more sure a bet in terms of at least getting a real look at it. Whatever he does with it is what he does with it. For Prime, though, and he said this, they've only known me as a coach. I've only known coaching my sons. I didn't stop to think about that. Like, damn, that is kind of like these guys are superheroes. They'll run through walls. They do all these superhuman things, but they're still human beings. One, newsflash, they're still human beings. You're like, what? What? They're human? Yeah. Crazy, right? They're still human beings. And, well, what empty nester syndrome? What does any parent feel like when it's time for them to pick up and pull up sticks and start their own life? It's kind of like, well, what is dad going to do? Maybe I could come with you. And you're like, well, yeah, dad, that'd be cool, but I'm getting married, right? It'd be awkward. It would just be awkward. It's not that I don't want you there. Well, I know that you want me there, but I could be. Yeah, but it's my honeymoon, so maybe not this one, big guy. And he's like, all right, will you call me if you need anything? I pretty much got it taken care of, Pops. No, it's like he's got to. Thank you. You're welcome. He's got to try and figure out some things on the personal level as well. So, okay, I guess I didn't take that into consideration enough, because it's just for us, it's really transactional. We can be very heartless as fans, right? We don't care about these people's lives. Be honest with yourself. You care about the people you cheer. You care about their lives. You don't care about their lives. You care about their production and their performance and what that means for the team that you support. The Avs are also on the ice tonight. They're up 1-0 already on the Rangers. Thank you, Daniel. Welcome to the party, pal.
You see what I'm saying? I ain't damn toot my own horn, but I'm telling you, I got this shit now.
Appreciate you, Daniel. They need to get off to a fast start. If I'm not mistaken, the problems that they're having between the pipes, and now they do have an injured goalie, they need to score. I mean, that goes without saying. What do you got to do to beat them? Score more goals. What do you got to do to make sure you come out with a win tonight, Coach? We need to score more than they do. Awkward pause. Right. Back to you, Greg. Good job for the Avs. Who scored the goal? I'm not watching the game, so put it in there, Daniel. Who scored the one time? I guess I could just click on it. I'm on NHL.com. I got 2 computers going right now. I do a lot for you sons of bitches. Leave Brittany alone. Who scored the one-timer? A one-time. Who scored the damn goal? Full play-by-play. God, that is small. All right, I'm not going to get caught. So, back to Prime. I know I reacted harshly yesterday. If you were watching Coach Prime or any of the Prime family, please accept my apology. It was strictly out of self-interest and self-centeredness. What up, Andon? I want greatness for that program in Boulder, and I believe that you bring that to the table. And I did not take into account that you, Coach Prime, were making television. That's all that was. That whole thing was about making television. And then for the national media, it's even better. Glip Glops' Rick and Morty. I never got into. I've seen Rick and Morty. I thought it was funny when I watched it. It gave me Futurama vibes, but I just can never get into Rick and Morty. You're gonna have to give me a. Is it worth the watch? Is it worth starting late? Do I have to start from the beginning? Is it one of those that I gotta, or can I just poke in at any time? South Park, like for instance, is one of those shows you can poke in at any time, but it pays to have had, some schooling in the park. Colorado, stand up. Worth the first 3 English, Oren. Worth the first 3 seasons. Try saying that 10 times fast. Worth the first 3 seasons. 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 Got it. Nailed it. Okay, I'll check it out. I'm always up for a good time. It seems funny. I haven't been able to take in another cartoon. Let me see. Last Airbender, I loved. Have you ever watched Bad Batch? Not really a cartoon, but of the Star Wars canon. The only animated, by the way, Star Wars stuff that I could really take in. It's about Boba Fett's, Mandalorian types. A whole batch of the first Boba Fett's kind of like cast-offs, because Boba Fett's a clone. That's where Attack of the Clones came from, or at least, yeah, Boba Fett's a clone, and it's a batch of Boba Fett's basically, and they're fighting adventures. Probably two. probably too nerdy. Go ahead and put that away. Go ahead and put the Star Wars glasses away. Yeah, you guys don't like Star Wars, I see. Straight sports fan, huh? Got it. I'll keep that duly noted. Let me just write that in the book. Does not watch anything other than sports. Got it. Duly noted. I won't make that mistake again. Just talk sports. So I didn't realize that Coach Prime was selling the sizzle initially, and then I had to go back and read the thing, and Timothy, Scott and DMAC actually did bring up a good point, which is the midlife crisis of sorts. You like what from Smith? I like Spock from Star Wars. I can't. Spock's not from Star Wars. Spock is from Star Trek, and that, again, I'm letting just, you got your stars. Your stars aren't aligned. Your stars are out of order there, Timothy. Not quite. Wrong star. You're thinking of I need right now, warp speed, Scotty. And then he's like, I can't, Captain. I need more power. I fucking kill the impressions. Would check out S Wards, but damn if the prequels didn't kill the franchise. No, come on, man. Don't do that. It's only the Jar Jar Binks one. Let's see. I think that the first one, I can't take the kid. And I really don't like the guy that they got to play Anakin. I really don't like that actor. Whatever that actor's name is, this guy, he's so bad. He's so bad. Hold on. This guy, let's talk about other things happening in Dallas. And oh, by the way, hold on. I was really about to get sidetracked. As far as Jerry Jones is concerned, I didn't realize that he was playing a bit of a game too. I didn't realize that Jerry Jones needs to drum up interest. That Troy Aikman bomb, this one was like, oh, if Troy Aikman's saying that, did you guys see that Troy Aikman was like, Dallas, basically. Troy Aikman basically said, okay, Dallas, right. Sounds good. Oh, okay. It's like Dallas isn't a destination. Like, it's like, whoa. I did not expect to hear that from the greatest Cowboy quarterback this side of Roger Staubach. Star Wars. I didn't expect to hear that from him at all. And he's like, yep, not what did he say? It's not a dream job, something to that effect. Like, oh, is that how you feel, Troy? Because Jerry Jones is a clown. And I think that Prime, he's like, always good to hear from Jerry Jones. I think anybody looking from the outside in just looks at that thing and is like, why would I want to deal with the owner that wants to be the coach de facto and the GM and will not take his aged face off anyone's screen ever? He just loves to be seen. It's a circus. It's a circus down there in Dallas, in Big D. And therefore, why do that when you could just have probably one of the most cream situations in college football? Rare is the occasion that you can go into. I love how people talk about CU, by the way, too, that it's like, oh, it's like they talk about it like it's a directional school. You hear the national media talk about him being at CU, and it's like he's only at CU. And it's like, oh, I don't know, Big 12, home of already one national championship in football, as well as a Heisman Trophy winner, as well. Like, what? CU Medical, our aerospace program puts both astronauts and satellites in the sky regularly, like Boulder, Colorado. What? And it's just, talked about kind of like an also ran, like, that can't hold That can't hold Deion's son, the light from his son. And it's like, oh, yeah, but it can, though. And it will. And what I do believe also is happening is what you heard, part of the glee, I think that's driving the national media is the old guard not wanting college football to change the way it's destined to change with him involved. And you know who knows that? If I think that, you know who also thinks and knows that? Deion Sanders. Coach Prime knows that he sits at the precipice. He sits atop the mountain. I truly believe this. Michael Vick will try it, having the hoodie in North Carolina. It'll be compelling, but there will not be, at least for the next decade, if he stays, if he's engaged, if making television and selling the sizzle and being able to really get players into the NFL and build a winning program, which he will do, a pipeline to the NFL like we used to have when the Joel Steeds and the Chad Browns and the Alfred Williams and the Canavis McGee's and the Deion, when that was linebacker you damn near, running back you, like Chris Brown. When you think about, yes, is CU Alabama? No. Texas? Not really, but still upper echelon. And to sit atop that program and build it into a one-of-a-kind thing. His effect in college football is not replicatable. You cannot replicate what he brings to the table. It would be so contrived. Could you imagine Dabo Swinney trying to start a YouTube channel, social media presence? As long as that shit's a part of what kids are interested in, he is more than relevant. He is actually the bell cow for how recruiting is going to go in the future, especially with NIL. Especially with NIL. Who has that star? He will turn that thing into the program, like the movie that we watched. It will be the shining star. Mark my words. What's today? January 14th, 2025. You're going to have to come back to this. You're going to have to jump into your Wayback Machine. Don't they have that on Rick and Morty, a time machine? You're going to have to jump in your time machine and come back to January 14th, 2025, when at 9:32 Eastern, Oren Lamena told you that Deion Sanders will build the premier college football program in the new era of college football, bar none. Hear me. Hear with your ears. Bar none. They're already off to a great start. I was watching Caden Salter tape today, like, because that's what I do. No, it's not. And I'm like, damn, they definitely got a transitional quarterback. They can definitely I could see a 2-quarterback system going through this year. The first 2-3 years, we got I'm talking about 2-3 years post Shador. The first 2-3 years are your transitional years, but Juju is going to be in college for at least 3 years. At least 3 years. And this is Caden's last year. So your first year, you kind of I could see a dual quarterback system while they figure out what's happening behind them and get a running game, get that offensive line gelled. They already brought in another high-profile offensive lineman. I have a feeling that something will be done about their NIL money too. I really think that it's going to be a surprise and we're leaving the Big 12. That's what I feel like. I feel like that's what they should do. I feel like that's what will eventually happen because Deion also has a hammer in his hand and he can always look over at Rick George and be like, Rick, you want me to stay, right? Right. Because if I leave, it's right, done, finished, finito, over. So what I'm going to need you to do is work out whatever you got to work out to get me somewhere between $60 and $70 million NIL. I don't care where you get it from. Fucking leave the Big 12 if you have to, so that I can get the kind of kids and coaches in here that I need to compete and dominate. And then he will build a powerhouse. And I'm not mad at it at all. You know why? Because Alabama did it before it was legal to pay players. That's all they were doing, paying the most, stocking up talent. So fuck it. That's what we're doing. Avs are on a massive struggle bus right now. You're all over the map. I thought you said it was a great start. Did they give up? Oh, they just gave up a goal. I missed it, but I see the score. Prime stays in Boulder unless Jerry Jones says, hey, you want enough money to give God? This is beautiful. This is tight. To give God a loan. God's like, hello? Hold for God, please. Oh, shit. God's calling? This has got to be. I'm intrigued. Hey, Prime. It's God. Oh, what's up, God? What's going on, dude? Here's the thing about my bank account, Prime. I'm a little short. I got a lot of prayers pouring in. I got a lot of people that need a lot of money, and I know that you got it. You got that ching. You got that cheddar, and I'm in need of a loan. I'll square you. I'll square you out. I'll sort you out, big man. Because I love Jesus. Praise God. You ever hear the joke that ends with the black preacher saying, I just put all the money in a collection plate, in a bucket that we collect? He's being asked by a reporter, like, how this reporter's asking okay. A reporter has a priest, a rabbi, and a Baptist minister, a Catholic priest, a rabbi, and a Baptist minister. All right. And he's doing a expose on how tithes and offerings are utilized in the church. And he goes to the priest, the Catholic priest, and he says, so how do you go about designating, what of the monies goes where in terms of, people's tithes and offering? And the Catholic priest says, well, we draw a line on the ground. We take everything that we collected and we throw all the money up in the air. Whatever lands on the right side of the line belongs to the church, and whatever lands on the left side of the line belongs to the community and abroad, and therefore God's purposes. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then he goes to the rabbi and he says, Rabbi, what about you? How do you guys split your tithes or whatever it is that you collect from your parishioners between the needs of the immediate church within and building fund and all that other thing, and then the community abroad to do good works? And the rabbi says, well, we draw a circle on the ground, and we put all the money in the bucket and with the shovel, and we throw it in the air, and whatever lands on the inside of the circle belongs to the church, and whatever lands on the outside of the circle belongs to Yahweh. That's pretty good. No, not a bad way to go about it. And he goes to the Baptist minister and he said, well, Reverend Jones, how do you guys decide what goes toward the building fund and whatever, gets divvied up and used amongst the church, in the community and doing good deeds abroad? And he goes, doing God's work. And he says, well, at the 7th Street turn, we take all the money, we throw it in a bucket, we throw the money up in the air, and whatever God catches, he can keep. Bah. You're welcome. The fuck? Who's giving you that kind of what? I have a brilliant idea for a show. I'll just be the host. Sexual chocolate. I'll just be the host because stand-up always sounds like a great idea. I have a stand-up show that I'm going to bring to the table. So for all you guys who fancy yourselves comedians, get ready. So anyway, put that to bed. I think that Prime will, as I said before, if things go, I don't think he has any interest in leaving college football at all, to be honest with you. I think that all of that was really good for television, and I think he's going to get about the business of building a powerhouse in Boulder. As far as the game goes tonight, we'll just move it forward. I'm going to transition now here awkward, to the Nuggets in Big D while we keep an eye on the Avs taking on the New York Rangers. To it, Daniel is melting down. What now, Daniel? What, Daniel? What? The Avs forgot how to shoot the puck again, and it's looking like when the Nuggets are on a Mike Malone struggle bus. Thank you, Daniel. They'll be all right. I have confidence. I have faith in them. I have faith. Let me go ahead and get this Nuggets game started because they'll be starting. They'll be tipping it up here any minute now. Who'd have thought that the Golden State Warriors didn't find an adequate replacement for Klay Thompson in the immortal Buddy Hield? Anytime that, that's a foul. Okay. Nuggets have already tipped it off, up 3-2 in Dallas. We'll watch a bit of this. I'm going to go away, let you watch in peace, and I'll be back in the fourth quarter. Really, 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 really enjoying this whole ride with Russell Westbrook. This whole Russell Westbrook and Joker thing is just, it's great to me. And AG is coming off the bench, it seems like, to start this game. So Jamal hasn't been forgotten about. We'll see how this goes. Kyrie is on the floor. He was questionable. I saw he was questionable earlier tonight. Ooh, I got pinched. Russell still it's amazing how good Russell Westbrook is in my mind at just energizing the Nuggets as a squad, and just how many times he's just either self-owned or just completely denied in the open net. Denied in the open net. Okay, Christian Brown. Nuggets up 5-2. I'm not going to do this the whole thing. I am going to step away, get some water, make sure that I'm not so parched, and come back to it. Let's go get a back-to-back tonight, boys. No Luka. That's helpful. Take all the wins that we can get. Back-to-back, in as much as to say that this will be the second game in a row that they've played in Dallas. Got a win last time after looking like they were going to salt that one away as a loss, a terrible loss. I was looking at some numbers also. That Joker has a better three-point percentage than both the Splash Brothers. It's crazy. He doesn't take that many attempts. So, but I just am a big believer in, what do you need all those goddamn attempts for if you're not hitting a ton of them, right? I think Wemby is close to league leadership in terms of number of three-point attempts per game, which is crazy. Somebody needs to talk to that young man and be like, we get it, but nah, that ain't it, son. Get your big ass down there on the block. Get your tall ass into the gym so that you can get your big ass down there on the block and make this thing work. Jamal Murray for 3. Yes, sir. All right, you guys, let's do this. Let's part ways. Parting is such sweet sorrow. No, it's not. Because you can always say hello again. That's the good thing about saying goodbye. Every goodbye is just another hello again waiting to happen. So I'm going to step away. I'll see you guys in the fourth quarter, depending upon what section of the United States you hail from. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you on the rebound with the medicine. Hey, worse the cost, lesser, more be the option. Sticking and moving, picking and choosing. Solid ground, fuck 12, 10 toes. My nigga, is you in or out the mosh pit? Precious timing is illusion, true but still tick-tock.
And now it's time to play everybody's favorite game.
Jesus Christ, we can't run.